아. 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 아.
그 감도 너무 나죠.
총알 없어. 좋겠다. 총알 없다. 총알 없어. 좋겠다.
아메리키. 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 오늘 골드 가자. 골드 가자. 골드 가자. 골드를 가자. 골드 골드 골드.
저번에 주말에 할 때 애들끼리 지금 ET에다가 바지 한 번도 안 입고 옷을 맞춰 입었네. 바로 선발래? 어? 바로? 바로 내려.
인간인가? 지금 브론즈 5를 갈 수 있지? 날 보라고. 브론즈 1은 찍어줬지. 어?
한번 박았는데. 한번 박았어. 개피야. 개피야. 아니, 철. 개빡치네.
誰か帰ってきた。僕を召喚した翔太くんだね。なんだかすぐそわそわしてますよ。僕が家にいるといつもああなんだ。ま
씨발. 도저히 이런 건 피셔서 못 보겠어, 준아.
You may have seen Valve News Network's recent video, which suggests that Valve may be working on a Battle Royale game mode for CSGO, but you can see what it might be like right now using the Go for the Kill custom game mode that he has been working on for quite a while now, since before PlayerUnknown's even. You can check out his site in the description for information and servers to play it on right now. After signing up to the site, you choose between a solo or duo lobby, and after a game is found it will notify you and give you a minute to join the waiting server. There are a number of activities to do in this zone. I ended up playing a game of football with the other players, which was pretty fun in its own right. I then got parachuted into the world and could choose where I landed. The experience mirrored PUBG more closely than I could have expected. In a good way. Gameplay wise, he has modified the weapons to make them suit this very different style of play to vanilla CSGO. There is now only jumping in accuracy, so guns will behave the same whether you're stood still or sprinting. Rather than recoil, there is now random spread, but the first shot remains fairly accurate. Bullets now model velocity and gravity, so you'll have to compensate for this when taking your shots. He's thinking of adding a mode with normal feeling CSGO weapons, depending on how large the player base gets. As it is, the weapons feel strange at first. In my initial encounter, I started out like it was CSGO, before quickly realising that by calming down and by tapping slowly, I stood a better chance of winning. And then by firing wildly at point blank again. After my first confrontation, I explored the church and picked up all the gear that I'm used to having. I then moved onto a hut for some more stuff, and then up the side of a large mountain. These are used to break up the map. Once you get to the top, you transition to another quarter of the level. This is done remarkably seamlessly and allows for the world to be 4 times larger than what is actually possible in CSGO. Here's the world map, with overpass for comparison. From up here I could see the death zone closing in around me. It's odd to see such a thing within a CSGO match, but it felt just as ominous as it does within a dedicated Battle Royale game. You may think it's based off of PUBG, but Kinsey initially got inspiration from H1Z1's King of the Kill. He has since gone off the beaten track by adjusting it to whatever he considers good for a CSGO version of the experience. He dislikes the slower paced approach that PUBG has gone in, and has strived to make his CSGO mod faster paced and more geared towards combat than about pretending to be a shrubbery for half an hour. He says the custom HUD was hard to implement. It uses things that used to work in Source but have since been broken for CSGO. However, after a lot of effort, he got it working well enough for this mod, and has been able to implement inventory loadouts and radar overviews that will look familiar to anybody accustomed to Battle Royale games. My first session was short and action-packed, with me losing in a long-range encounter about halfway through the match. Games start after 10 people have been found, though the servers support up to 49. He says the average is between 15 and 20, which is enough to populate a map of this size and a match of this length. The learning curve wasn't too bad either. Just be sure to memorize which buttons are for your inventory and map, and you'll be good to go. They're tab and 8 by default. The rest is explained on your inventory screen. I suggest you give it a go. I got a game within minutes. I suspect that after this video is out, your queue will be considerably less than this, at least for a while. It's good fun, and just as annoying as PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds when you die to the last person and feel like you really, really should have won. Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Instant money for skins. Best prices on the internet. It is secure.
$10. Yeah, boy.
Give your meat up.
No shit, Sherlock!
Shut your fucking mouth!
Yeah, boy!
Nope.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad? That's right!
Alright, here's the deal. 10 seconds to go.